Hello and welcome back, Smite fans and Smite viewers. We are about to be bringing you game number 2 of a best of 3 series in the Cybergamer Pro League between Tainted Minds and Direwolves. Now, I'd just like to remind you that the finals will be held in the CGPL LAN in April.
Yeah, so there's going to be 3 splits this year. This is split 1 of the very first, this season is split 1 is going to be the very first one. And keep in mind that it is going to be in April, but we do have the second game of Direwolves versus Tainted coming up for you in a moment. But first, we're going to go ahead and go to the picks and bans.
Exactly right. So jumping right into our picks and bans, Odin is going to be getting banned away from Tainted Minds. They are not going to be dealing with that one.
Now, Tainted Minds is going to be banning the Odin on this one. The Tainted Minds is going to be picking first, but we can see Direwolves is going to be banning out the Capri.
Yeah, I like seeing Capri banned straight away. It's extremely strong. You don't want to see him. It's completely needed. If he gets through picks and bans phase, then yeah, I don't know what you're doing with your life. But Capri immediately out of there. Athena as well getting return banned.
Yeah, Athena very high priority, very strong in that support lane, and we have seen Athena in the jungle before. It's not something completely out of the ordinary. It does work. But next ban coming up is going to be the Chiron. Very safe in the lane, but not safe from bans.
Yeah, not safe from bans, as it does get removed from Direwolves after playing a very strong game with it. Not sure why Yada didn't want to be playing that this game, but clearly he's had enough of it, and he doesn't want Tainted Minds to be playing it at all. Our picks are going to be banned. I mean, not our bans. Picks, Thor is going to get picked up straight away by Tainted Minds.
Yeah, Thor is going to be going on to Shred this time. Maxon was doing a great job with Thor in that last game. A lot of definitely Dawns, and it was something to watch.
And our next picks for Direwolves are going to be Sobek and Guan Yu. Now, Richard played an extremely good Sobek that game. There's no doubt about that. But Guan Yu, we did see him banned in that last game. Now we're going to be seeing the true power of the heals and the cavalry charge and just the shred damage with his Taiyu Assault.
Mind you, if it was any other team and they first picked Sobek, I would kind of look at it a bit weird. But Richard Castle, 5-0 and 15 in that last game, he was a focus point.
And it's good that they're prioritizing Sobek over Geb. I mean, clearly Richard likes it and he plays it extremely well. So I mean, if you like it and you're good at it, why not pick it first?
Exactly.
Our next picks are going to be Neith and Agni on the side of Tainted Minds.
Very strong sort of early game. Agni quite strong, clear in the first sort of waves with that Path of Flames. And Neith very safe as well, avoiding a Chiron, safe like a Chiron, rather. And very strong in that early stage of the game. But they gotta make sure they have more late game focused gods in case the game does end up dragging out.
Yeah, let's see if Slicey can play a extremely strong mid Agni like Kiki played in that last game. Yana's
Slicey's getting Agni.
Slicey is on Agni, yeah. That's going to be Giannis as well, picked up from Kiki.
Yeah, Giannis very top tier, high mobility, can enable your entire team to move from one location to another. And also, if you're really good at aiming it, you can snipe up some objectives.
I just love sitting in base at the end of the game while you're just late game building everything, and then you pop Girdle, and then you just ult, and you're waiting to hit someone in the fountain, and then you just one hit them because the damage is insane. But even early game, getting your team from one side of the map to the other is ridiculously strong.
I believe they've changed it where if you get hit with the Yana Assault in base, you don't actually take damage. I've gotten hit by that before and instead immune.
Nah, shocking. But next series of bans, Raven getting banned out in that second set. Interesting that he got through the picks there.
Yeah, Raven is just a bit broken. People will say that Guan Yu is also fairly broken, a lot of damage, a lot of healing, but Raven's just hard to deal with.
Yeah, he's got a lot of slows. He has that root on his kit. He's got the immunity with his kick. And even his ult, which have changed now, so you can ult anyway, you don't have to lock onto a target. You can use it to escape a team fight, which is something that I've always wanted him to have. Humbats as well, getting banned away from Tainted Minds.
Yeah, Tainted Minds is from Tainted Minds? No, Tainted Minds bans out Humbats.
Yeah, banning it.
Said ban out from. Whatever. But
Yeah.
yeah, Humbat's very strong in the initiation, counter initiation, very strong sort of team focused jungler. Definitely gonna have to ban that out.
And Geb is our next ban on the Dire Wolves, making sure that Tainted, they don't have a support just yet, and there isn't really that many options left open other than that Geb, and completely banning him now means that Tainted Mind are going to have one of the lesser known supports that you will see.
And Fenrir also going to get banned out. Not something we normally see, although Fenrir can be a little bit of a flex pick. He can go in the jungle and the solo lane, and if you're really confident with him, you can go with a support Fenrir.
Yeah, the ultimate, just being able to pick up someone and then just stand still, and you're surrounded by your entire team. Even the Brutalize, it does a ridiculous amount of damage early game if you start off with a red pot. And it's just a good clear as well, doing the AoE when you have the 5 stacks on the passive. And we're moving into our second stage of picks, and that's going to be Bastet, picked up for Maxon.
Yeah, Maxon, he loved his Bastet back in the last season, and his Bastat's scary, usually going for a very high penetration build, and now with these new items in the season 3, like the Stonekine Sword, you can see I can see him building a bit more movement speed as well as power.
Yeah, cats. I don't even want to mention cats. Being able to
cats are annoying.
They can just tank towers and you can split push. That's a good thing about Bastet. Even though you can play him in the jungle, play her in the jungle role, just being able late game to just pop cats on a tower, going in and basically hitting it 5 times and dropping a tier 2, it's ridiculously strong. So I want to see Maxon as well as just joining a team fight, being able to split push with that ultimate. Vamana and Bacchus though.
Yeah, you don't normally see these two. We saw a Bacchus ban previously today, and Vamana doesn't really get picked up all that much. There's nothing wrong with him. He's very strong. His clear is very good. His poke is strong, and his late game is fairly strong as well. He's like a little mini Raven.
Basically, a little mini Raven. He's got that slow and the form as well. It just basically means you can tank a team fight. You can walk straight into a team fight and not even die. Take all the damage from everyone.
Just walk in a team fight like, what's up?
Just walk in, hey guys, how you going? Just smash the ground and then just walk out and even use that dash to get out. Medusa is our final pick here on the side of Dire Wolves. That's going to be going to Yada.
Yeah, that's going to be for Yada. Medusa Sobek lane, that's a kill lane.
That is a kill lane.
I'm concerned for that.
And not just the kill lane, Richard Castle and Yada kill lane. Like Richard Sobek.
God.
But let's jump right into the game. We're not even going to have a break, guys. Right into the game. We're going to be starting this one up. Let's go ahead and introduce our two teams, guys. Tainted Minds are on the left side of your spectator UI, fighting under the blue health bars. We have Idivine in the solo lane playing Vamana. Our jungler today is Shred playing that Thor. Mid laner is going to be Slicey on the Agni, and our joy lane for today is Tomalomo playing Barkus and Gruff on the Neath.
And finally, on the right side of your spectator UI, top side of the minimap, we saw them in the last games dominate the early game with so many red buff steals. It's Dire Wolves. Guan Yu is going to be played once again by Only Good solo. Maxon jumping around as the Kitty Bastet in the jungle. Kiko and Mio is going to be the Giannis in the mid lane. And your dual lane is going to be that scary Sobek and Medusa, played by Richard Castle and Yada.
Now, let's just see if Dire Wolves want to be as aggressive and dominating in this game as their last one. They played a very, very dominating game as soon as it started, stealing away all of the camps, particularly the red buff, from Tainted Minds. Now, let's see if Tainted Minds can put wards around that, make sure they can't take any farm, and even if they do try and go for it, just to cancel them out of it completely.
Well, if they really don't keep on top of it, Dire Wolves is just going to do what they did last time, and you can count how many red buffs Tainted Minds will end up getting just on one hand.
Basically, yeah. At the end of the game, I barely even thought they had one between about 5 minutes until, what, like 20 or 30?
Tainted Minds going for the blue buff.
Already starting off, they're changing it up. Now it's going to be Tainted Minds invading. They have that strong invade. Shred with the red pot Thor, he's got that early pressure. I would have liked to see Ogre and Maxon maybe try and contest that, but hey, they just want to play safe.
Yeah, it's not really a huge problem. I mean, Guan Yu isn't exactly very mana sustained, but he can live without it, especially for a little bit.
And now Shred and Slicey are going to be taking away this left side mid camp, making sure that Direwolves won't be able to get that at all. Did they pick up the right side as well, Timmy?
Yeah, they started on the right side with Shred
when they invaded.
Shred and Night Divine. They started from the right hand mid camp and went straight for that blue buff.
So already just a minute into this game, already flipping the tables completely on its head. Tainted Minds with a completely different strategy. Over in our solo lane though, we might see a bit of a rotation from Keek and Maxon. Oh no, they're going for their own fire minions.
Just a little tiny fire minions that give hardly any golden XP at all.
Basically, it's just nice to have.
I don't like them.
Nah, just remove them, man. Just remove them. Shred and Divine, however, are going to be taking their blue buff, their original one, and they're going to be heading back to lane.
Yeah, that's going to put them quite far ahead. Maxon level 3, Shred level 4. It's important for the junglers which one gets level 5 first. On the duo side, though, Graf getting plucked up by Richard Castle.
However, over on our solo lane, though, might see Ogre fall down, giving first blood. Divine with the wall from Shred, completely blocking off any movement from Ogre to get into that tower. Very, very good placement from Shred there. And Divine is granted with the first blood of the match.
So not only did Ogre lose his blue buff to Tainted Minds, but he also got first blooded. This could be a little bit of a pivot point.
Yeah, he's going to fall a bit far behind as Divine already level 5. He has that Colossal Fury, which means he can walk into any fight. He can tank out the Guan Yu. And now already changing it up, we're going to be seeing the pigs being taken away.
Yeah, Pig's taken away as well, and yet another kill to Divine, picking up Ogre. It's just 2 kills in a row, like textbook.
Just complete textbook, already 2-0 as you were mentioning. Hit didn't even need the Colossal Fury just then. Just great play from Shred and Divine.
Yeah, so we can see though, Direwolves is not giving Tainted Mind any quarter on this duo side. Just really pushed up very hard, and a little pause coming out from Maxon.
Yeah, just a little pause by Maxon. They might be discussing, I don't know, some team strategies. Already 2-0, almost 3 minutes into this game. As I was saying, completely switched flipped the tables on its head. Tainted Minds already invaded 2 camps and already 2 kills up.
I swear to God, if we come back and Gruff is in another enemy tower disconnected, I am going to flip it. But no, Maxon has been the one that's disconnected this time.
And Richard as well, pausing it out, just extending that pause for Maxon. Can't really see any interesting builds at this point. Yada and Gruff, however, have both changed up the Hunter roles as they were playing Apollo and the Chiron last game, switching up and playing the Medusa and the Neef, and both starting off with Transcendence.
Now, we can see Richard Castle once again went for the Shell, but now Tomolomo has also picked up the Shell, whereas previously he picked up the Blink. Bacchus doesn't really need a Blink all that much. He does have that belly flop to get himself in. It's a little bit unnecessary for a relic slot.
I want to see if maybe Tomolomo will be trying to live up to Richard Castle and building the Soul Reaver that we saw him build last game.
Oh my god,
Soul Reaver Intoxicate? It does ridiculous
Stop.
amounts of damage.
Stop it. Stop it. You bring back bad memories for me. Oh, Soul Reaver on the Bacchus is just terrifying.
It does insane amounts of damage. Basically, Maxon and Kiki and Yada are just going to be hit by Intoxicate. They'll be stunned out, and they'll die because, you know, Soul Reaver damage. It's just a crazy amount of damage. What do you think the strategy is? Divine not building any relics at this point.
Divine isn't. Well, Divine has picked up a rock now.
He's just got TP then.
Normally, what you can do in the solo lane is, because you don't necessarily need a relic straight away. If you think you're going to go into teleport, you can see how you go and tread the waters a little bit and back. If you think you need teleport, then you can get it. Otherwise, you can get something else.
Over on our solo lane, however, Maxon is being poked out by Divine. They're going to be looking to take away this blue camp once again. Ogre just looking on, maybe trying to charge up that cavalry if he wants to do it. Richard's rotated over here as well. That's a great stun onto Ogre over the wall from Slicey. They do manage to take that one up. Slicey does miss that extra bomb, and Shred might be in a bit of trouble here. There's the Whirlweaver, and the cats get used up on Shred. He's going to fall down to Maxon.
Maxim picking up a kill. That's going to be pretty big for him. Intoxic comes out. Richard Castle
Kiki.
just barely alive.
Oh, the portal. That's a great through space and time from Kiki being able to get his entire team out of a fight. And that's the thing with Giannis. You can get your team into a fight or out of a fight. Just crazy.
It's the mobility that you have. You gotta think with portals, man. You gotta think with portals.
And now left side mid camps are getting taken away by Slicey and Tom Lomu, denying any extra farm from from Dire Wolves. However, in that fight, Tainted Minds didn't get a single kill.
No, they didn't. If we take a look at graphs, though, we can see that Tainted Minds is up 2.2 thousand XP as well as 1.3 thousand gold. Not a huge lead at this point, but it's all that Dire Wolves had in the last game.
Exactly right. Now our stacking items are coming online for both of our ADCs here. Transcendence getting stacked up at this point. Now they're going to be taking their blue buff. Now, when do you reckon the next team fight is going to break out?
Mid camps.
Mid camps?
The next mid camps. Mid lane is usually a very high traffic zone. You see the support and the jungler coming around a lot, and those mid camps, everybody wants them.
Oh yeah, it's just extra farm on the map. Extra farm equals further ahead. If you're further ahead, pretty much gives you the win.
It will either be that or someone ganking a lane and it goes a little bit too extended and everyone starts rotating in to get a piece of the action.
Yeah, true. I really like that Shred has the global ultimate, the Anvil of Dawn, on that Thor. Even if he sits in the Gold Fury pit, ults over to duo lane, Kiki can immediately spot that out and rotate his whole team over there.
Yeah, that's the thing. With Yasuo, you can just rotate more effectively than a Thor, really. Thor has to move up about twice as much more than what Giannis does in order to get over.
Lane though, however, iDivine goes up into that form, but he doesn't get enough healing with it. Maxon gets himself a kill with the cats onto iDivine, shutting down that 2-0 spree.
Unfortunately for Ogre, he didn't get that little revenge kill, but he'll take whatever he can get, and he's going to go ahead and try and get his first pigs for the game.
I don't like this though on the side of Direwolves. 2-0 Maxon. A fed Maxon is a bad Maxon to verse. He's just going to snowball from this point on. He's already got that Warrior Tabby. He started off with the red pot. However, over on our right side, Shred's going up in the air. He's going to be looking down onto Ogre. He's got that, and the Whirlweaver comes through as well. Double tap with the stuns. They're wasting a lot of things, but Slicey gets himself a kill onto Ogre.
They are being, like you said, they're using a lot of things just to kill Ogre. I think they're really focusing him out very hard. They want to shut him down.
Shut him down as best as possible. 0-3 at the moment. That means that when he decides, over on our solo lane though, jungle, that's going to be a good stun. Shred's going to spin to win. Can he get the kill? No, he's just got a tick, but Divine gets it. And now the rest of the team has rotated over. Shred's in a bit of trouble. He might fall from that portal, but no, he's just got out of there alive, Timmy.
He's just gone out. He teleports through the wall, but on the left-hand side, Graph game picked up by Medusa, played by Yada. Not played by Yada. Yada playing Medusa. He was having a little bit of a boxing match with him. Viper Shot doing a lot of the work.
And now Direwolves being able to pick up that blue buff. Slicey was unable to get the steal. Maxon walking into 3 members at that mid camp. They could pick him out there, but he's just going to jump over the wall with that pounce.
He's best stat. His mobility is off the charts.
I mean, you can't catch any of the members on their team. Direwolves, as soon as you chase down Ogre, he's just going to cavalry charge. You chase down Maxon, he's going to jump.
They have 3 dashes, a jump, and portal. Like, that is so much mobility.
And now 4-3 right now. Tainted Minds still keeping their lead at this point. Have a look at our graphs. It has gone down just a little bit, but it is still in favor. About 1k gold and experience lead in favor of Tainted Minds. Now, you did say the mid camps were the next point of contention, but they've already been picked up. Moving on to the 8-minute mark. Should they be looking to go for a Gold Fury?
Gold Fury, not quite now. And don't prove me wrong, because I said either that or a gank on the side. And man, Ogre,
well, I guess
there's
a gank
enough
happened.
people focusing on Ogre to call it a team fight.
Yeah, Ogre is getting focused out. Already level 9, 2 levels behind iDivine, who is 3-1 at this point. I just want to start seeing maybe Ogre coming in with the cavalry charge, stunning out Slicey, and just getting the kill on him, and then rotating back to solo.
He doesn't have.
I mean, just look, he's just getting boxed out by Divine at this point.
Yeah, he cannot win. Clear the Path is going to knock him up as well. He's just taking so much damage out of nothing. But my question is, if Tainted Minds are focusing him deliberately, why him? Why not Kiki or Mio, who's more of a late game sort of carry with this amount of damage?
I think it's because if they waste a lot of things on Kiki and he gets out of there, then Direwolves can take advantage of that and turn the next fight around.
Is he
Whereas on
easiest to
Ogre,
catch?
I'd like to say that Ogre is the easiest to catch. I mean, Cavalry Charge, even if he goes in that form, usually we've seen Shred over there, and he can just put down the wall, and he can't get over it.
Yeah, I can see that. Yana's very hard to catch. Yada is most of the time protected by Richard Castle. Richard Castle, you don't want to look at him because he'll pluck you.
Yeah.
And then Maxon is all over the jungle. He's too hard. It's too hard to coordinate an attack onto him.
And also, I think that they're targeting Ogre because when they start seeing these Gold Fury fights break out, it's pretty much going to be a 4v5 in favor of Tainted Minds if Ogre is that far behind. If he comes into the fight and he's far behind and he's squishy, he won't even be able to do anything in the fights, whereas Divine is going to be completely dominating the fights if he rotates.
Yeah, I can definitely see that coming up. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at some of our builds here, see if there's anything interesting. We see Tomolomo going once again for the Windblade.
Yeah, going into the Wingblade already, skipping the boots like he did last game just to provide that passive for the slow and the extra crowd control reduction. Have a look over on our left side though, we're going to be starting up the Gold Fury. I don't think that Direwolves have any clue this is going on. Oh, that's a great through space and time, that's a good stun. Tainted Minds do get themselves the Gold Fury, however, but now Maxon has rotated over there very, very low at this point. Maxon with the movement speed is going to slow down Tomolomo. He's going to fall down. Another kill to Maxon.
Yeah, they got the Gold Fury. I think it was worth for them to lose Tomolomu. If you're going to lose anyone, lose the support. He doesn't exactly need as much gold and XP as the rest of his team. Slicey interrupted at the backhands by Richard Castle, but look at this. They're just taking down the tier 1 tower.
Is it worth that they lost Tomolomu and the tier 1 tower to a Gold Fury? Let's just have a look at our graphs to prove the point there. It's pretty much even in favor of almost Direwolves now, 200 gold experience, and still in favor gold though. That's just because of the Gold Fury that Tainted Minds just picked up there. But at least they've brought it back now.
I'm looking at the peak that came from the gold, and they do seem to be ever so slightly ahead, but only by maybe about 100 gold or so. If they didn't lose anyone, they would have been far higher.
But again, it's just a support, and now that it's even now in kills, 4 for 4, I'd like to be seeing a bit more fights over in our mid lane. However, though, that's a good stun. Kiki getting very low, but Richard Castle doing a good job of getting the team members from Tainted Minds to get off him.
Yeah, like we mentioned earlier, Kiki, very hard to catch as a Giannis. Every time he's near a wall, he has an escape.
Have a look at the build coming through from Slicey, going into the Divine Ruin. They're just trying to focus out Ogre as much as possible, shutting down that farm. Already 0-3, camped over by Divine, Shred, and Slicey. And now Slicey's going for the Divine Ruin to cancel out the healing.
That, and also, look at Ogre's second relic. It is a meditation, and if you hit by Divine Ruin, it does get affected by it. You do end up getting less healing off of it, so that meditation to me screams out from Ogre, I'm in trouble. I'm running out of mana, I'm running out of health. I can't sustain myself in lane.
Speaking of Ogre being in trouble, he might be just that, as 3 members of Tainted Mind do rotate over, but Maxon is here to back him off, and they're just going to secure these fire minions, and Divine's just going to sit in lane and clear.
Oh, left side though, Gruff, incredibly low backflips out, but the lacerates is enough to get it.
Great solo kill there coming through from Yada. I did miss that one. However, they are looking to get this tier 1 tower on left. Meanwhile, in mid, looks like Direwolves are going to be pushing this lane.
This game is such a different tone from the last one. Last game we saw Direwolves just kind of stomp in, burst open the door, hey, where's your red buff? Now, this one, they're more or less going very even, but they're focusing, Tainted Minds, they're more focused.
Over on right side though, we've got a big rotation from both our teams here. Thor did went up in the air, or did go up in the air, and down on those back mid camps. Looks like Direwolves are going to be pushing this one, but they've got a teleport coming through. Here comes Divine and Shred.
Yes, Yada's not going to be able to get this tier 2 on the side for very long as Gruff is trying to stop him. But all the meanwhile, we got all this action in the solo lane, but it's all starting to become a bit more of a Mexican standoff.
Yeah, neither team's willing to commit at this point. Shred did use his ultimate, but wasn't in range and decided to go onto the back camps, as I said before. But over in our duo lane, though, they're just going to be boxing out, trying to get this tier 2 tower as our right side team fight has now looked over to the mid camps.
Yada's done a good job on that tower. It is almost gone. That just
14
after
minutes
good
in.
team fights, that's just going to be a little side thing. Just as you go past, you breeze through the tower.
I mean, he could let minions just take that down at this point.
I don't think Gruff would let that.
Nah, I mean, they're going to take the red. Gruff's going to push up the wave a bit more. We've got a minute left till the Gold Fury spawns. I'd like to see a big team fight coming through from both teams here. We haven't really seen a big 5v5 team fight. We saw Tainted Minds run away from the last team fight. Tom Lomo did get picked up. But a big 5v5 ultimate team fight would be very interesting to watch.
Well, Tainted Minds, if they're going to have a team fight, they want to do it over in that solo lane. They want to have Ogre involved in that team fight because he's an easy first picking. Even though, okay, he falls down, maybe the rest of Direwolves is fairly confident in their level and itemization. But as soon as you start losing a member, it all starts to fall apart.
Maxon, however, building into Transcendence this late in the game. Well, not late. 15 minutes isn't really that late. But after he's already finished Jotuns and Warrior Tabai, as you were saying in the picks and bans, he typically builds a more penetration-based item. Why do you reckon he's building into Transcendence this point in time?
More power, baby. More power. Transcendence gives a ridiculous amount of power. And, normally you build a very high penetration, high power with on-bat stat, but Maxon takes it a step further. Most people would tend to get, a defense item somewhere in the middle of that build, whereas Maxon's just pure offense.
I mean, he could maybe build into a breastplate of valor for the mana and the protection. But he already has Jotuns. He already has the Jotuns for the cooldown, so there would really be no point in even building that. So just straight power is good.
Yeah, straight power is good. I'll call it right now. Transcendence, he'll finish off. Then you'll get Bane. Then I'm not too sure. Maybe
Stone Cutting, maybe?
No, he'll get a Brawler Speed Stick.
True.
Just for the pen.
Just for the pen, doesn't even need the anti-healing. I mean, he could use it against Divine when he's in the Colossal Fury, but man.
And Gruff.
And Gruff, yeah, true. Using that, I don't know, Unravel.
Yeah, and also any lifesteal also gets affected by it. Any kind of healing, even HP 5, gets affected by anti-healing.
It'll be interesting to see what he decides to build into after that Transcendence. However, Gold Fury has spawned at this point, and now it looks like Shredder's going to be backing for this team fight that's about to happen over in this Gold Fury. Maxon and Kihi have rotated over.
Gruff just kind of eyeing up Richard, making sure he doesn't pluck him when he's not looking. Does have the backflip if he does do that, but Tomo, he's starting to just wobble in towards the Gold Fury, trying to get vision.
Now Yada's stopped pushing up left lane. He's back over at this Gold Fury. That's a good wall and double tap coming onto Richard for some good poke. Ward's getting placed now. The ward battle has begun, but no team really committing at this point.
No, not quite at this point. We see Tainted Minds winning quite often in the solo lane, but when it comes to the rest of the map, it's actually very, very even.
Extremely even, and that even says it in the kills. 4-5 right now. No one deciding to aggress at this point. They could look to maybe focus Yada here as he's there by himself, or Pluck just missing onto Slicey.
Yes, and dashing away to avoid the tail whip as well. It's just more stop and start, more Mexican standoffs.
True.
It's very slow at this point.
Now, neither team has committed to that Gold Fury. They're rotating over to this solo lane. Divine needs to be very, very careful here as he has 4 members rotating over to him. The shred damage from Ogre is good. The cats go down and the slow is provided. He goes into that Colossal Fury form. He actually might get out of that one.
Yeah, he's going to be able to get out of that. His base movement speed is what Sir Cat used to have last season, so he has no problem running away from cats.
I would have liked to see Tainted Minds go for a Gold Fury then. That would have been a really good bait for Divine if he knew that 3 people were rotating on him. Tainted Minds could have thought, alright, they're going over there, we'll just get Gold Fury for free.
Well,
but they didn't get it.
Yeah. Keep in mind, we've seen Ogre getting focused quite a lot, but he is level 16. He's 2 levels higher than Maxon at the moment, and 3 levels higher than Richard Castle. He has brought himself back through the chaos.
Yeah, Maxon 3-0, extremely, I'd say weird to say that he's 3-0 and level
He's
14.
ganking too much.
He's not farming enough.
Well,
which
Ida
could
Vine
set
keeps taking all the blue buffs, so he's losing a lot of farm off of there. But that could be a very big swing. Although I say that, Shred's level 13.
True, this is true. 0, 1, and 4. Then again, he's kind of like the utility. You want him for the wall, you want him for the ult, and double tap just at the start of these. Oh, pluck, just missing. However, getting stunned out. Bomb is going to be good. Direwolf is going to be starting up this Gold Fury. Shred, however, does have that Anvil of Dawn. Somebody's teleporting, and that looks to be an Ida Vine. Direwolf will leech this one.
Yeah, Direwolf's going to go ahead and drop the Gold Fury, although he's going to drop Graf right into the middle of all of them, and now everything's kicking off.
Graf gets taken out in the backline from the cavalry charge of only good at solo. Now the team fight continues as Tomolomo does bounce out of that one, avoiding any of the damage. Gets plucked is Ida Vine. Colossal Fury comes through. He's going to be looking to do a lot of damage as Shred uses that weakening. Double tap coming through onto Yada, and Divine just getting pressured from Yada. Can he get out? He is safe and sound.
Tan Mines losing quite heavily on that one. They lose Graf. Shred very low, Ida Vine even lower, Tomolomo quite low as well. I don't think they can secure this Gold Fury, or rather steal it away from Direwolves. This is just how the game is being played. Everyone's just so cautious just to not give up any lead, and as soon as something flinches, everything is dropped.
And Tainted Minds need to keep into account that even if Shred does a lot of poke damage onto even anyone on the side of Direwolves, if Ogre rotates over and uses that heal, that conviction, the poke damage is going to be useless. They should just commit to a single fight, use their abilities for that fight, and if they lose, well, then GG. But I think they should stop this bait game.
Well, mentioning Shred as well, using the Mjolnir's attunement for the poke, if he does that, he's lost a lot of his mobility for escape and initiation.
He has literally no escape after.
Except for the Anvil of Dawn, which you don't want to waste.
True. You want to be using that to really engage. But I'd like to see in the next team fight as Slicey getting pressure here in the mid lane. Yada doesn't get knocked up, but he's about to be stunned. Yada with a good beads. That's an ultimate coming through as well. From Kiki.
Thor's up.
Got the name. Thor's up. However, is he? No.
No, he's going back for that backhand.
Shred going for another backhand with the ultimate.
I wonder how fast you can clear a backhand with a Anvil of Dawn.
Pretty fast, I'd like to imagine. No team fights breaking out just yet, as we see the mid lane. A lot of the members from Tainted Minds have rotated over here. Should they be really 4-man splitting these camps at this point if they're, if they're significantly behind 3k experience?
They're not necessarily splitting it for the XP, they're staying grouped together for when the fight does break out. Because as soon as they split up, Direwolf's gonna find you.
Oh, great pluck from Ida Vine. Pulled under tower. Yada does get burped out. That's a great stun. Richard Castle should fall down. No, he gets back under the tower. And here comes Ogre rotating into that fight with the teleport.
Yeah, teleport coming in is Ogre, but now the rest of Tainted Minds is starting to back off a bit. So baiting out the teleport was quite good for them. It allows them to have more focus elsewhere.
And now we have Direwolves pushing down mid, but have a look at left lane. Maxon is looking to push this tower. As I was saying, he's popping those cats, and he's going to get a free tier 2 tower like it's nothing, because, just Bastet things.
Just Bastet thing, but Ida Vine, he saw it immediately. He used his sprint to get over there faster. Doesn't manage to save the tower, however.
Speaking of towers, looks like mid tier 2 tower is going to get taken down. Slicey gets plucked, but he does dash away. Anvil of Dawn onto 3 members in the tier 2 tower. Maxon uses a Sanctuary to get out of the fight. Richard Castle, however, does look to be extremely low in... Oh, he should die, yeah. Slicey gets the kill while he's lurking in the waters. Great turnaround from Tainted Minds.
And a good thing to remember is that Sobek has got the Ymir effect. If you kill him before his ultimate goes off, the ultimate doesn't no
even
damage whatsoever. So they're still fairly healthy.
Oh, Yada! Maxon does get a kill onto Shred. Yada gets out of that fight. Colossal Fury to get the extra healing. He's going to be tanking this tower. Malomo does get very, very low. There's a cavalry charge. Gruff gets a kill onto Kikiomio. And it looks like they're going to be pushing down this tier 2 tower.
Ida Vine getting incredibly deep there, getting a lot of damage taken from the tower. He needs to be careful here that he doesn't get jumped on by Maxon, because I don't care if you got Breastplate of Valor. Maxon has so much power and penetration.
Yeah, exactly right. He's built that Transcendence. He's probably going to be building into that Titan's Bane, like you said, and then possibly a Brawler's, maybe even a Stone Cutting. But, I mean, 6 or 7 at this point, fairly even fights this entire game.
The fights are very even. They tend to swing. Direwolves win once, Tainted win one, Direwolves win the next, Tainted wins the next. It's going to get to the point where when you win a fight, how much do you take afterwards?
Yeah, exactly right. If Direwolves win a fight, they can push down mid while Maxon or even Yada push down another lane completely. They have a lot better, I'd say, tower pressure on Direwolves than the side of Tainted Minds.
Well, Tainted Minds lost one extra tower than what Direwolves has as well, but they are running out of towers, and soon, when you start running out those towers, you start taking out those fire giants.
Fire Giant. Speaking of it, however, we've got 3 members of Tainted Minds rotating over to that general area, making sure that Ogre and Yada don't push up that lane too far. Just have a look at that tier 2 tower in mid, though. That looks like Maxon's favorite treat there. He's going to be jumping on the wall, and he's going to be popping the cats and getting that. Just you wait to see.
There's a little bit too much traffic from Tainted Minds around that mid camp. Maxon wants to be a little bit sneaky. He has picked up the Titan's Bane, and like I said earlier before, he doesn't like getting the defense on best stat. He's just all pure power, hit and run, push, split push.
Speaking of hit and run, we're going to be taking that tier 1 tower, and that's going to be Direwolves backing and getting away from that right lane.
Take a look at our graphs here. We can see Direwolves has started to pull in ahead of Tainted Minds, so they are slowly but surely winning. Nearly 6,000 XP and 3,000 gold in favor of the Direwolves is going to spell a little bit of an advantage towards them.
Speaking of even getting further ahead, there hasn't been a Gold Fury fight for a while now. Only 2 Gold Furies in this entire match has been up. I'd like to see them either contesting this Gold Fury. As I say that, Yada's going to be soloing this with Maxon and Kiki.
Yes, and they'll be able to shred that down pretty quickly. Tomolomo wobbling around the area, although he doesn't notice it, he doesn't hear it, and he's just going to go ahead and go back. But iDivine, he sees it, and now here comes Tomolomo.
Richard Castle just missing the pluck onto Tomolomo. They're going to be leeching that Gold Fury, getting off it at this point. They're still looking to maybe start this one up, but I think they've taken too long, and the team of Tainted Minds have spotted it out.
Yes, they've all come in troves now, and it's going to be very hard to just take the Gold Fury. We might end up seeing a fight here, but Maxon's looking for his little kitty treat. He's looking for towers? No, he's looking for towers
in right. However, this fight is still going up at the top lane. Groff just uses the beads for no apparent reason there. There's a cavalry charge under the tower. They're going to be focusing. Tomolomo, that's a miss ult from Shred. Does get stunned out in the tower with that Medusa's Petrify. Yada, though, under the tower. That's a good ultimate from Kiki with a double kill on that through space and time.
Through space and time, picking up a double kill straight down the barrel. iDivine retreating out of the tower, still alive, but just barely. Runs under the tier 1 tower, still alive. He needs to get out. But Maxon again, that tier 2 tower on the right hand side. That is why Direwolves is slowly coming back in. They're getting gold fed off of these towers.
Exactly right. Maxon, as I said, can just push a lane. Even if there's a big team fight, he doesn't necessarily need to be there. Direwolves were on the defensive at that point, and, you know, Maxon just pushed a lane, and they got return kills, even though Direwolves did lose a few members. I think it was still in favor of them.
Yeah, when you're split pushing, all you have to do is draw, and you win. It doesn't matter if you're ahead or you're behind. If you draw when someone's split pushing, it's in your favor.
Exactly right. Now only 1 tower remains, and that is Maxon's favorite treat. That's a tower at about 100 HP or something like that. But it's going to be removed in about 2 hits if Maxon decides to go for it. So, I mean, still a lot of towers on the side of Direwolves, though.
Yeah, Tainted Minds doesn't exactly have the split push that Direwolves have. So they really have to win a fight large in order to really take a lot of towers.
And Maxon 4-0 already has that Titan's Bane. And as you said, he's going to be building into probably the Brawler's Beat Stick. Maxon gets hit with the double tap. But, I mean, I'd still like to see a stone cutting sword. Blade. I'd like to see it.
Yeah, stone cutting sword is probably one of my favorite items. It just gives so much of what you want. But that set doesn't really use her auto attacks all that much. So passive especially is not going to be of much use.
Yeah, especially if she's just getting in, jumping, using the cats, and then jumping out of there, leaving the cats and the Razor Whip to do the work.
do see, though, once again, Rich Castle's picked up that voice.
Oh, Richard.
Very aggressive. When is the Soul Reaper coming?
The Soul Reaper will be coming right after this team fight if he died there, but no, does get hit with the double tap. But again, he just gets healed up from Ogre, but that is a shred going up into the air. Who's he going to be landing down on? Should be Yada or maybe Kiki. He's way too far away at this point. No, they do focus the aggression onto Richard. He has nothing to do at this point. He's gonna fall down. Graf gets a kill onto Richard. That's a big kill from Ogre onto Tomolomo. Divine goes in that Colossal Fury. He's going to be trying to box away Ogre, Maxon, and Kiki. That's a 1-for-1 trade.
That was a 1-for-1 trade, but that Petrify was large enough to the point where Tainted Minds could not go in any further.
And even both the, I can't even talk. Both the supports were traded away, so it doesn't add up that much in the goal.
Both supports were traded, but here comes the jungler. Nope.
Yada might be in a bit of trouble here, as Divine is still going. Does not look like he's going to get the kill. He should fall down to Razor Whip, maybe? No, he has that protections on mine with him.
A little bit interesting. Idivine up the chin size. He's looking to try and get those AoE auto attacks when he goes up into Colossal Fury and just shred down everybody.
Yeah, very, very interesting. He has that along with the Frostbound Hammer. I mean, we haven't really seen him dying. The only time he's died... Oh, Gold Fury getting started up. Slice. He's going to spot this one out. Divine, and oh my gosh, that's a massive ultimate from Shred. Yada is going to fall down to Shred. He does get taken out of the fight now. Now the aggression is turned onto Kiki. He's going to through space and time out of that fight. Double stun from Ogre. Richard Castle gets a kill onto Shred. The cats get popped. Slice, he gets a kill onto Ogre. Gruff should fall down to these cats, and they're lurking in the waters. And yeah, oh no, backflip, great backflip coming through from Gruff, as Richard is now the target of aggression for Tainted Mind.
Quite an even trade there at the moment. Idivine again with Richard Castle, and now Gruff looking to take the Gold Fury. He does have the healing from the RC passive proccing, so he can take it for a little bit longer. The rest of his team here to have a hand. And the teleport from Idivine and the ultimate from Shred is perfectly executed.
Exactly right. Perfectly executed. I saw Divine teleporting in. I didn't even hear Shred go up in the air. Stuns down 3 members. Divine just comes in, hits them with that armored umbrella. It just sweeps the fight. And then they kill 3 members. They take up, they lose their own. And then they just take the Gold Fury.
Well, here's the thing. You didn't hear Shred go up in the air. Neither did Direwolves. And that was massive.
Absolutely massive. Now we've got a quick game pause. Now we're just going to go over, I mean, interesting builds at this point. Obviously, Richard, he's going to be building into that Soul Reaver that we saw him build last game. That isn't surprising us at all. But, I mean, 1 and 4, we saw him in that fight before, getting focused out. Should he even be going into this?
It's hard to tell at this point. Like, you want more defense just so you can live a bit longer, but it's a question of, if I had more health and defense, could I live longer, or would I still just fall? The Soul Reaper is guaranteed damage. It just,
exactly
you get
right,
that pluck, you hit somebody, it does a lot of damage, 15% of their maximum health, you flare back to your team, and you say, here you go, boys, eat up.
Just eat up, boys. Just feed them to the dogs, basically. We're going back into this game now. Gold Fury is going to be down for another 4 minutes. Fire Giant is still up for contention, though. 32 minutes into this game. No team has really been fighting around that objective.
No, it's too high risk. If you lose a fight and the enemy team takes the Fire Giant, it's a massive loss. It's very... And both teams, they're too close together. It's too hard to tell, if we fight a Fire Giant, we're going to win. You can't tell it at this point.
Just have a look at the grass as well. This is a 32-minute game, and the grass are pretty much completely even. Only 1k experience and gold in favor of the Direwolves. 12 to 11 right now in kills. You couldn't really ask for a more even game at this point. Both teams are playing at their best.
Yeah, take a look at the levels here. We can see on Direwolves, everyone except for Richard Castle is level 20. On Tainted Minds, we've got Idivine, Slicey, and Gruff on 20. Shred on 18, not very far behind. So XP is not going to make all that much of a difference. And gold is starting to lose its value as well. You're starting to get those luxury items, which you do need the gold for. But soon, gold is just going to be, you know, just a keepsake for those 3k pots.
And I don't even want to even bring up that Tomolomo is level 15, has not even finished boots at this point. 33 minutes aim in the game. Big fight in the mid lane, however, Richard Castle does get poked out a little bit. That's Tomolomo diving into the 5 members of the... Oh, Thor's going up in the air. Maxon is extremely low. Does go down onto Kiki. I don't know why he went onto Kiki, because he can just get out of the fight like that.
And now Intoxicate missing quite a lot there as people go through the portal, just avoiding it completely. Lurk in the water is going to miss as well.
Richard falls down to Slicey as Cavalry Charge does come through. Shred gets hit with the Petrify. But again, another fight in favor of Tainted Minds.
Tainted Minds slowly
oh
these fights. Slicey destroying Max in there. They're going to also destroy this tier 2 tower.
And they might even destroy Ogre at this point. No, he's got those heals. That was a massive Spirit Arrow from Gruff. They're going to be looking to get this Phoenix now in the mid lane. They have the damage from Gruff and Divine to tank this one. Tomolomo is going to be walking out of this one a happy man on about quarter HP. Are they going for Fire Giant at this point or Towers?
No, they might be going for the tower along the way, but you don't want to go for a Fire Giant when there's a Guan Yu and a Giannis. Because those two gods will steal a Fire Giant.
And Kiki has his ult up in 3 seconds. If they wanted to, I can guarantee you that Kiki would be able to hit a very, very easy through space and time to secure that fire. So, very good call from the boys at Tainted Minds. They're going to be backing away after taking the mid Phoenix, winning a fight, and the right side tier 2.
Good to see just then, Direwolves points and pinging out Tainted Minds back in. They do know that they've gone away, so they know that they're free and safe to just come up here, do a little bit of ward maintenance, and just set up for the next fights.
Have a look at the item on the side of Eye Divine, Mantle of Discord. Now this is a new item added into Season 3. We don't really see it a lot. 60 physical protections, 60 magical protections, and the cooldown reduction as well, as if you're below the 30%, it stuns out the team. Great item for Tainted Minds to pick up.
It is quite a strong item, and when you do get the stun, you cleanse yourself of any crowd control and you get crowd control immunity for about a second. The thing is, though, is that the stun shockwave off of it is a very small radius. If you're not a melee character and you're right up in somebody's face, it is not going to hit anyone.
And I really like it on Eye Divine. As you said, you need to be that melee character. He has the Frostbound. He can walk into a fight with that Colossal Fury. Even if he does get that Colossal Fury stun off, it'll just stun the whole team because he's right in the middle of the fight.
Spirit Arrow again, charge up, lands on Maxon, Thor's up in the air, Tainted Minds are looking to take another fight.
Shred falls down onto Yada, does get hit with the Unstable Vortex through the wall, and now it looks like Richard's going to fall down again, getting picked up this time. Tomolomo is granted with that kill. They need to be careful in this right side Phoenix as Slicey still has those bombs up. Divine does have the Colossal Fury, as he said, does get stunned out with the Mantle of Discord. Through space and time comes through, but it doesn't connect. And now they're going to be getting this one. Oh, Ogre, however, gets the kill on Divine in the tower.
Yeah, Cavalry Charge going up as well. Petrify hitting Slicey to stone. Ruff is incredibly low, gets picked up by Ogre. Yada on the offense, hit with the Intoxicate, but destroyed by Shred.
Shred gets the kill onto Yada. Now Ogre is doing a good job at trying to peel down Shred. He's going to be getting stunned out in a second from Tomolomo. The portal is going to secure the double kill. The double slam dunk from Kiki.
Oh, it's unfortunate though that Direwolves only have Ogre and Kiki Omeo once again to try and just go around the map, clear out wards, do a bit of maintenance, because otherwise that would have been Fire Giants.
That definitely would have been Fire Giant, but both teams, I would say that was in favor of Direwolves at that point. That was a great defense by them. Just look at the graphs, it's a big spike in favor of Tainted Minds, and it does drop significantly in favor of Direwolves.
Yes, but at this point, most people level 20 already. You win a fight, all it means is that you're not around for the next fight. And for quite a while, the respawn time is really ticking up. It's not so much, hey, he killed him, he's got more gold, scan, bit more fed. It's more or less, if you're not alive, you're not able to secure Fire Giants.
Hey, shout out to Tomolomo for finishing off Boots 37 minutes into the game. However, he's gone for the Shoes of the Magi, the damage boot. Does not have that cooldown online. The only cooldown he's going to be receiving is from that Breastplate of Valor.
Well, to be fair, for the entirety of the game, he hasn't had the cooldown from boots, so
yeah, he doesn't.
What he's got now is perfectly fine. The extra penetration is going to allow him to do a bit more damage to the rest of Direwolves, And that's really what they need. They've been able to just burst down direwolves, and it's working.
Richard Castle getting stunned out from Shred. The mid lane Phoenix has been up, and now they're pushing up these fire waves so they can't get taken down while they're having this fight. This next fight could actually spell game for either team here. They could go for fire after they lose, or they could just go for the game.
Yeah, staggering 38.5 minutes is this game. Stakes are getting high. We're starting to see the power potions coming out from multiple people. And next fight could be Fire Giant unless both teams trade very heavily, evenly.
Teams getting healed up by the Guan Yu there. Richard Castle getting walled off, but it's not going to be enough for the team to pick up any advantage there. Again, Oga just using those heals. Neither team really wants to commit at this point because the stakes are that high. If they just lose one crucial member of their team, it could spell game for them. So they're looking for the perfect opportunity for Shred to go up in the air. Good backflip from Gruff there to put down that wobble pierce. The fight's going down. Shred's going up in the air. Maxon does get taken out of the fight extremely early. Slicey gets the kill onto that one. Ogre now with the cavalry charge is going to be diving down. Shred's in the backline doing a good job at destroying all the squishies. Ogre and Richard, however, might fall down in a second. Shred gets a kill onto Yada. Divine is chasing down Richard through this mid lane. They're not even going for him. They're going for this mid lane Phoenix.
Yeah, mid lane Phoenix has already fallen, so it is weak as it is in terms of protections. Half health as it hasn't had a huge amount of time to restore itself. We see Maxon just getting absolutely annihilated at this start of these fights. Like I said, he isn't going for any defense items, just pure offense and penetration. He's going for a crusher. He's getting a crusher just because he's got penetration on it.
I like the fact that he's going for the damage, but at this point, Tainted Minds have worked out in that fight. Hey, Maxon literally has no defense whatsoever. They focused him at the start and then just killed him.
And the thing about that is that normally you're able to use the pounds to get out of there, but Tomolomu just jumps on him with a belly flop, you're knocked up right in the air. Agni Bomb stun combo, you're not going anywhere and you just wiped out.
Speaking of Agni Bomb stun combo, 6-1 and 13 is Slicey at the moment, doing a great job for his team, as you were saying. Tomolomu using that belly flop, knocked up into the air, getting stunned out, or even blocked by the Thor wall. They're just working so well as a team. They have great amount of CC, but Maxon getting the Crusher online just for the pen, as you were saying.
Yeah, the Crush, at this point, since he's picked up that Crush and he's getting destroyed in these team fights, he might just want to look for just split pushing on the left-hand side, try and get that Phoenix, but if he does that, Direwolves is already a man down, or they could just rotate over and finish him off quickly.
I'd just like to point out that Direwolves have pretty much more anti-healing on their team through their itemization than Tainted Minds do, and Direwolves have a Guan Yu.
Yeah, and Direwolves also has the Sobek with the Sickness Strike, 50% healing reduction. You know, when you hit by that, it's no one's going to heal.
Oh, the damage from Maxon. He's going to be falling down in a second. That's just from one bomb, about a quarter of his health. Granted, he's going to be healed up by Ogre. That's a World Weaver. Idivine takes a lot of damage from the poke of Direwolves. They're going to be retreating into this Phoenix now.
See, I don't like this now. Tainted Minds is starting to really try and overextend, trying to reach out, trying to poke out Direwolves. But now, Agni doesn't have as many bombs now. World Weaver is on cooldown. Direwolves have this opening.
Direwolves getting knocked up there. Oh, that's a great ult from Shred. The focus is on Maxon once again. The Colossal Fury is going to be doing a lot of damage to try and stick to the members. Maxon is on about 70 HP after that fight. Again, no casualties from that fight, but looks like Tainted Minds are going for this Fire Giant. Can Direwolves even contest this?
They don't have any ward vision, so it's going to be hard for Kiki to try and snipe it out from the base. Doesn't look like Tainted Minds really want to go hard on it. We see the dropship coming in, Direwolves coming out very fast, sprinting towards the Fire Giant.
Maxon getting caught out though. Massive amount of damage coming through onto Maxon. That's a great pluck from Graf. That Soul Reaver doing a lot of work. He's going to heal it up though, however, but Divine comes back into the fight. He does not have that Colossal Fury. Yada though, taking massive amounts of chunks from his health. That's going to be Gruff falling down in a second too. Ogre as he's shredding him in the backline. Divine gets a kill onto Yada. Slicey's in a bit of trouble being chased by Ogre. Can he get the stun? Can he get the stun? Can he get out of the fight? Slicey's going to get out of that one. The focus is now onto Richard Castle, who is the only remaining member of the Direwolves.
Yeah, Richard Castle is down. His Soul River is down, and now the
Is that game?
is down. That could be game. They're making a beeline for the Titan.
Oh my goodness gracious. That entire fight. Maxon just thinking that they were on the Fire Giant, thinking that he could come up from behind and maybe catch somebody out of position. But no, they knew it was happening. They just spotted him out and they took him out of the fight, making it a 4v5. And they just won the fight from there.
And through all that, they only lost Graph. That's GG.
GG in favor of Tainted Minds. That's 1-for-1 right now. As I said, it is a best of 3 series, so we still have one more game to go, guys. I know it's getting late. Just hold on, because this is it's a best of 3. It's anyone's game now. The next game is guaranteed the win. Whew, that's a hectic game.
Oh,
any thoughts?
At the moment, I'm holding my words until Game 3 is over, because these games are getting longer and longer, but they're also getting closer and closer.
I mean, how can you go from being completely dominated in that first game for the entirety of the game, and then
You
just
steal
going
the blue
from
buff.
you steal the
starts.
at the very start, you stole the blue buff. They just snowballed from there. They were winning fights. They were losing a few every now and again, but they just flipped the table on its head and invaded them, took away the farm, and went for the win.
And that's no easy feat. Direwolves was number 2 at the PAX regional finals last year, second best team last year in all of the regions. But gonna go ahead see game number 3 coming out in just a 5-minute break.